love it. It's really good. It's really good. So, did you see that at all? You see any of that?
No, but I'm going to check it out. And I still haven't read my books. But I got that kitten. It just messed up everything. It's like, I don't have time for anything else.
That's what
She's very time consuming.
Taking care of other beings is like that. Like having kids, having pets. Yeah.
I don't know how people have kids, honestly. And
it's an adventure.
Yeah.
Just everything goes different all of a sudden. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, I will definitely take a look at it and I'll retweet it as well. Of course, it'll be in our show notes. And I'm interested in that. And I particularly like, I like video because I can see it, but I also, I still listen to a lot of video and not look, because sometimes I have to take it in both ways. Like I'll listen to it and then go back. Yeah.
This is definitely a sit down and watch it, give it some full attention. Like that's the thing is it can be hard to find the time. I recognize maybe that's why it doesn't have as many views. It can be hard to find the time to sit down and devote attention to that, but like well worth the investment.
Yeah. Yeah. And
first one. Yeah, go ahead.
And sometimes just being on social media for me, with my neck pain, with my neck injury and all that, it affects my hands and stuff. It's like, I can only do so much, but I tend to listen to like podcasts, no matter what they're on, while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, they're just on unless I'm on the phone. But yeah, cool. That's a good one. Best nerd out. Yeah.
All right. Well, my second one is best argument. So this is, the week in which this random Chicago guy who has an MVP vote, said some stuff about Rodgers off the field stuff and why that affects this particular writer. I'm not going to give this guy's name even. I'm not going to put his name in my mouth, right? Why he thinks that Rodgers like off the field stuff should affect his MVP vote, which is nonsense because that's not what it's about. It's not most valuable person. It's most valuable player. It's Rodgers, say what you will about his any of the number of weird things he said or done off the field. It doesn't matter. That's not what the MVP vote is about. So, of course, a lot of, as I said on Twitter, a lot of digital ink was spilled about this. But ultimately, I feel like the best rebuttal was from our favorite beat reporter, Bill Huber, my favorite beat reporter, at least, in his article, bad take by MVP voter. Biggest jerk in the league can't be MVP. It's a bad take. And I just want to read this one chunk of it. So here we go. This is from Bill Huber. He said, what's funny is, other than probably post-game interviews for his duties writing about the Chicago Bears and national radio broadcasts for Westwood One, Arkish probably doesn't know Rodgers at all. So how does Arkish believe Rodgers is a bad guy when his coaches and teammates say otherwise? Has he not listened to Davante Adams and others talk about Rodgers? Did he not see Lucas Patrick hoist Rodgers in the air after Rodgers broke Brett Favre's touchdown record? Has he not talked to former Packers receiver James Jones, who is part of the same Packers pregame segment? Is he unaware of the millions of dollars he's given for various charitable causes? Arkish said the MVP guidelines aren't limited only to what a player does on the field. In Arkish's mind, Rodgers hurt the team by how he acted off the field. Green Bay is a league best 13-3 and has earned home field advantage.
Right.
He just torched it. That's amazing. So really appreciated that. The whole argument or the whole article was good. It's worth going back and checking it out. But
yeah, I did read that. And I heard about it on more of a national, like something I just had rolling when I was getting my tea or whatever. And I don't think anyone agreed that I hated but honestly, it's kind of I think I heard one say, if the AP can't figure out how to get people who can be objective to cast their votes, then the NFL needs to take this away from the AP and give it to another organization or take it on themselves. That's one thing. And from what I understood, the guidelines were, it's only supposed to be what he's doing on the field. Obviously people,
player.
Right. And so he isn't correct in saying that is, I mean, he was trying to make the argument to the extent that what he did off the field affected the fans during the, summer and all that. But it's like you say, that's done. Everybody's moved on.
Yeah.
From that. And
it hasn't affected the team if the team's done that
it
well.
hasn't affected, right, exactly. It hasn't affected his playing or the team. And so he'll probably not get that. I would think he's going to get his privilege yanked after that, if not before, because the voting still hasn't gone in.
Right.
It's just, but there's a lot of, just without getting even into the weeds of it, it's inappropriate for somebody, who's in a judging position. You're judging, you're supposed to have some kind of some kind of neutrality going on.
Some objectivity. And my understanding is you're not supposed to like say who you're voting for anyhow.
Correct.
So
Correct.
That's
you're
also
not.
part of it. Like
you're not exactly. That's why I think he'll probably get his privilege yanked for voting. And
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. Maybe we won't know till next year, but yeah, it was, I don't like jumping in on those either. It's kind of like, okay, so then everybody's talking about it. And then you're giving it. Yeah. You know how I feel about that. Like you're helping him. When I first heard it, I thought this is somebody who wants some publicity.
Yes.
That was my first thought. And then I started hearing some of the arguments and I was like, I kind of forgot about that, but yeah. So
yeah, it's one of those things where like, if you want clicks, like that's a brilliant way to go.
Only that, but if he's in Chicago, it's going to make the Chicago Bears fans love him more. So yeah, it was just
red meat for the fans, for the Bears fans. It's a hot take that is going to be like widely disputed and like enrage people. I mean, yeah, in terms of like getting clicks and stuff like that, kind of brilliant, So
exactly.
in terms of a good take, it's terrible. In terms of somebody who has like a vote, that's terrible. But
yeah. Well, when I first heard it, I was like, oh yeah, that's just somebody trying to get some. That's just a PR move on his part. And then I moved on, and then it was like, oh, it all blew up, and everybody was talking about it. Which is, I hate. But yeah, I agree. But I did read that article from Bill Huber, and exactly.
All right, I got one more for you, Don.
All right.
This is me best role model. So this is my pal Todd Varney. One of the things he had tweeted in the last week was like, just what are your New Year's resolutions? What are your New Year's resolutions, everybody? And he had then also answered what his was and went into more detail about it on the Pick Six podcast with Jacob Westendorf on Game One Wisconsin. And Todd was talking about how he is really resolving to keep working on his own mental health, which is a thing that, every time you talk about mental health, someone's going to be saying for a good reason, we don't talk about mental health enough, And for those who are familiar with Todd, he's the kind of guy who you'll wonder sometimes, like, is he doing a bit right now? Is he being serious? So when he's being really earnest like that, that like, this is for real. He is taking his mental health seriously. He's seeing a therapist. He's working on like being kinder to people. And just like the way how he laid it out there, I was just sitting there going, man, more people got to listen to this. More people have got to do the kinds of things that Todd is talking about here. So hats off to Todd Varney for being a great role model this week. Maybe not every week, but definitely this week.
Oh, well, yeah, good I did see that, I want to say Vine. What's wrong with me?
That Vine from 10 years ago.
Anyway, the tweets, the conversation, where's my word?
The tweets, the thread, thread. Is that the word? Thread,
not Vine. Oh my God.
It's like a Vine though, because
it is like a Vine,
and there's like little shoots that come off of it and stuff like that. So
it is a Vine. And when I see it, I always think about a lot of people don't know this, but I'm an artist and a designer. So I'm very visual and words don't come very naturally to me. So I think I mentioned that in the very beginning of our podcast. So, well, for me, I have really bad notes on what I have, but let's see if I can put this together. So IKE Packers. Do you listen to IKE Packers ever?
Sometimes. Not quite in the regular rotation, but I've caught a few episodes here and there.
Yeah. And I don't know why. Well, there's just so much. When you do a Packers search as Packers, the keyword in Apple Podcasts or Google, you'll get like 200 podcasts.
So many. Yeah.
Or more. Yeah. I know some of them aren't still going. They're dead. But even our podcast comes up.
Yay.
Yay! Even though it doesn't have Packers in the title, but because we talk about it, that picks it up.
Should we rename the podcast at some point, Dawn?
No.
Okay. That's a conversation for another time. But because Packers isn't okay, never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, because we're getting such good feedback about what we're doing that and then during
we're past the point.
That is the point. And I'd like to have some kind of have time to cover not just football.
Yeah.
But I like to cover other teams. I try to be inclusive. Like I said, shout out to the Bengals.
Yeah.
And I, and I actually listen sometimes to more so I could contribute more. We just tend to talk about the Packers because it's this season, especially, it's just so much and it's our first year and whatever. But there's a lot of podcasts and YouTube's channels that I follow that have nothing to do with football.
Mm-hmm.
But football is life. So it's all a big circle. So so I don't want to be too exclusive. And when there's off season, I don't know if there's ever going to be time when we can talk about some of this stuff, but yeah, I don't know. But no, I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's a really good point. It's a really good point. Like, obviously we're focused on the Packers a lot. It's during the season. Right. But if we were to say this is just a Packers podcast, then in the off season, there's not as much to talk about. Anyhow, I totally derailed everything. I'm so sorry about that. So IKE Packers, you're talking
We're
about.
Okay. IKE Packers. I forgot what I was going to say about them. They were talking about our wonderful Devondre Campbell. Love that guy. Just love that guy. And they mentioned, first of all, I liked that podcast this week because it was just two guys just gushing over the Packers, and they were how we feel, but they were just so happy, and it's really fun to hear that. They are not reporters, they're not trying to be, they're just two fans, enjoying themselves. And but they did mention about Devondre, a middle linebacker doesn't get paid as much as an edge rusher, and how he was such a great use of I wrote down assets. That's probably not the term, but also the whole rushing versus pressuring, pressuring versus sacks and all that. But I thought it was just a really good point, another point about how well this team was put together this year. Really. And they said it better. So I'll have the link for there, but that did impress me, IKE Packers, and I might do follow them on Twitter as well. So yeah, they were very gushy, and it was fun. It was fun to hear that. And I probably listened to it a few days after. So I got to relive that happiness of how great I felt at the end of Sunday.
Yes.
It was nice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't listen to their podcast every week. They're a great Twitter follow for sure. In fact, I think they're one of the first Packers accounts that I followed on Twitter. So definitely shout out to them for that. Yeah. Oh,
cool. There you go, IKE. And I think IKE is short for one of the guys' last name. It's like Ike and something. So I was always wondering, what's that IKE? But then I think there's IKE other things too. So I could be wrong.
There's a couple of different things that they do. Yeah.
Okay. So like IKE Bucks or IKE Lions? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I don't know.
More research is needed. So what's your second one, Don? What do you got next?
Let's look into this IKE thing. Okay. So Blue 58, a Packers podcast.
Woohoo.
I thought it was really cool. First of all, happy 500th episode.
Congratulations, John Meerding. That's amazing.
Yes, John. Happy 500th. We said so on Twitter, but we're going to mention you tonight. We do enjoy your podcast so much. I thought it was really cool the way he had addressed resolutions for the year, but for others, for the Packers team, including management and coaching. That was a very a lot of chutzpah to do something like that. Like, hey, here's your resolution for the year, but he didn't do it in that way. It was awesome. He broke it down. It was quite a long episode, and I love the way he broke down things that could be resolutions for. I don't think it was every single player, but certainly Gutekunst.
Yes, for Gutekunst, LaFleur, Rodgers, and somebody else. I forget who. Wasn't there somebody else in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there were more even. I can't remember, though, because you know me. I don't remember. I just wake up every day a complete blank slate. Kind of nice. Which means I don't hold grudges and stuff either.
There you go. Love that.
Yeah. Very rare. So I was listening to Matt Schneidmann and Huber after the game.
Head of the
Not
pack.
right after the game, but probably like Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday.
They recorded right after the episode, like super late on, like, especially after a night game, like they're doing it at like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But it usually comes out the next day. Head of the Pack, an excellent podcast.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, great question that you posed.
Oh yeah, that's right. They took my question this week. That
I
was
just
fun.
remember that. It was a good question. What was the question?
I'd asked Matt Schneidmann, like, of course, beat reporters aren't necessarily fans of a team, which is a good thing because they can be more objective that way. I mean, both Bill Huber and Matt Schneidmann have said in the past that they're not Packers fans, but they really do like covering the team. So the question was, since you're not a fan of the team, what is it like covering a team during such a successful season? And yeah, without getting off on a huge tangent on that, it was really interesting answers they said about that.
It was a great question and a very, very good answer. Yeah, it was. So it's definitely worth a listen. So the most underrated, this is my superlative, the most underrated, wink, wink, because this is sarcasm, of course. I did not take this seriously, Matt. Devontae Adams is a really good football player. I just kind of cracked me up when he said that. Yeah, he is. And we like that. And we're all just super giddy. And they took that question toward the end of the podcast. So I got the impression Huber was a Wisconsin born and raised, so that he would have been a Packers fan.
He might well have been. I mean, he's been a beat reporter for the Packers for a long time now. So
his accent. You know who else sounds like she's from Wisconsin but isn't?
Who?
Erin Andrews.
You think so?
Oh,
I've never thought about it. I'll have to listen like really closely the next interview she does.
Listen to the commercial. The reason I'm saying it is because that commercial she's doing a commercial for a car. And
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's always on during the games. Yeah. And I'm like, she sounds like she's from Wisconsin. Okay. Yeah, check it out. Anywho, any final thoughts?
Oh, final thoughts. Okay. No, Don, you caught me off guard there.
Sorry, I know that was kind of
I'm a lot of thoughts. My thoughts are done, Don.
My thoughts are just happy.
Just happy. Just it's so
happy,
it's so
bubbly.
good to be a Packers fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Fun season. Great season to start a podcast, which was just luck, I guess, on our part, but because we get to talk about all this and be nervous together and I was scared most of the season, but now I'm relaxed.
There you go.
I'm really relaxed.
Yeah, relax would be a great title for this episode, Dawn. And it's already the title. That's why I said that.
I know.
So, which is a great one, though. It's a perfect week for that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Relax.
It's so nice to relax. And, and I think I talked about this more in the beginning of the season. Let's just have a good game. Let's just enjoy the ride. I mean, I do have a tendency just to be a in the moment person, I do wish anything good could last forever, right? But the season can't last forever. And those poor little legs would all fall off. Their heads would fall. But yeah, so it's just, I have definitely been savoring this whole season. I asked my sister Lori if she wanted to come out, because we have all these outdoor places with big screens. I was just walking through the village the other day to an appointment, and I was like, oh, I think that's where I'll go. Well, I've got two places where I could go to for the Super Bowl where they're outdoors, and I could still wear a mask, maybe. Yeah. So, but I'd have to hurry up, scurry home because we have to live stream. Well, I'm just assuming.
Yeah. Well, you're assuming we'll be in the Super Bowl. I hope so.
I shouldn't have said it.
Oh, I mean, neither of us has the power to jinx anything. So it's fine.
I don't believe in that either.
It's totally fine.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I was like, hey, you could come up, because they're at the point, like with you, it's like, okay, winter isn't fun anymore. So I said, but the problem is the pandemic. I said, well, because they said that, she said she wanted to bring my mom out here, and they haven't been out here forever, so, and I'm not going back there.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
No way. Because if I went back there, even to watch the game with them or whatever, we have to be inside all bundled up and sharing germs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Dawn, should we bring it home here?
Bring her home.
Let's do it. So, hey, where can people find you on the socials, Dawn?
Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Dawn Daquisto, DAWNDACQUISTO. And our podcast is in all the same places. Hey, we like your pod at Hey Willip. That's HEYWLYP. And Maddie, where can our audience find you?
I'm at Matt Trombone on Twitter. That's 3 T's in the middle. Friends, please subscribe, rate, and share. Hey, we like your pod wherever you listen. Helps us grow our audience and keep spreading the love.
Ooh, spread the love. Yes, it really does. And we appreciate you all joining us here. We're both so glad to know you and to be fans of you and to have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL. We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod with your friends. And we look forward to seeing you next week on
Hey, we like your pod.
One More Big W.
Big W, so excited. I
can't believe it like that.
I know. Jamal.
Good.